Hello everyone, today I will tell you a new story. This story is simple. Please listen carefully and let's begin. Maya was 20 years old. She lived in a small town. She lived alone. She worked in a small bookshop. She liked books, she liked quiet places. Every day she woke up at 6 a.m. She made up a cup of tea, then she opened her window. She looked at the trees, she listened to the birds, she loved the morning. One Monday morning, something strange happened. She heard a voice. The voice was soft. It said, "Good morning, Maya." Maya looked outside. She did not see anyone. She smiled. She thought maybe someone is talking on the phone. She closed the window. She got ready for work. At the bookshop, everything was normal. Many people came to buy books. Maya helped every customer. She smiled. She worked all day. In the evening, she went home. She cooked dinner. She watched TV. Then she went to bed. The next morning, she heard the same voice again. "Good morning, Maya." This time she was surprised. She opened the window quickly. There was no one. The street was empty. She looked left, she looked right. Nobody was there. She felt a little scared. At work, she told her friend Emma. Emma laughed. She said, "Maya, you are dreaming." Maya smiled, but she knew she was not dreaming. The voice was real. On the third morning, the voice came again, but this time it said, "Go to the old library at 5 p.m." Maya was confused. She had never been to the old library. She asked herself, "Who is this? And why do they know my name?" At 5 p.m., Maya stood in front of the old library. The door was open. Maya stood at the door. The old library was very quiet. There were many old books. There was a small table. There was one chair. Nobody was there. Maya looked around. She said, "Hello." No one answered. She waited for a few minutes. Then she saw a white envelope on the table. The envelope had only one word. It said Maya. She picked it up. She opened it slowly. Inside, there was a small piece of paper. The paper said, "Go to shelf number 7. Maya looked at the bookshelves. She found shelf number 7. There were many old books. One book was different. It was blue. It looked new. Maya took the blue book. When she opened it, a small key fell on the floor. Maya picked up the key. She looked inside the book. There was another note. The note said, "This is only the first step." Maya did not understand. She looked around again. The library was still empty. She asked, "Who is doing this?" There was no answer. Then she heard a sound. Tap, tap, tap. Someone was walking. The sound came from the next room. Maya was scared, but slowly she opened the door. The room was empty. Only one old clock was on the wall. The clock stopped at 5:15. Maya looked at the floor. She found another paper. It said, "Come back tomorrow." Maya looked the paper. She felt the library. All night she thought about the key. What does this key open? Who is sending these notes? The next morning she heard the voice again. This time it said only 3. Trust the key. Maya looked at the smile key in her mind. The next morning Maya woke up early. She looked at the small key. She put it in her bag. Then she made a cup of tea. But she could not stop thinking. She wanted to know the truth. She went to work. She smiled at the customers, but her mind was somewhere else. After work, she went back to the old library. It was 5 o'clock. The door was open again. She walked inside. Everything was quiet. Then she saw an old woman. The woman was putting books on a shelf. Maya smiled. She asked, "Excuse me, do you work here?" The old woman smiled. She said, "Yes, I do. My name is Mrs. Green." Maya asked, "Did you leave the notes for me?" Mrs. Green looked surprised. She said, "What notes? I don't know anything about them." Maya believed her. The old woman looked kind. Mrs. Green looked at the key. She asked, "Where did you get this key?" Maya said, "I found it in a blue book." Mrs. Green became quiet. She looked at the key for a long time. Then she said, "I have seen this key before." Maya was excited. "Really?" Mrs. Green nodded. "Many years ago, an old man came here every week. His name was Mr. John." Then she opened a small drawer. She took out an old photo. There were 3 people in the photo: Mr. John, Mrs. Green, and a little girl. Maya looked at the girl's face. She was surprised. The little girl looked exactly like her. Maya whispered, "Who is this girl?" Mrs. Green looked at Maya. She smiled softly. She said, "I think it is time for you to know the truth." At that moment, the lights in the library went out. Everything became dark. Someone slowly opened the front door. The library was dark. Maya stood very still. She was afraid. She heard slow footsteps. Someone was walking. Maya held the small key. She did not speak. Then a light turned on. It was Mrs. Green. She had a small flashlight. She smiled. She said, "Don't worry. It is only a power cut." Maya took a deep breath. She felt better. Mrs. Green looked at the old photo again. She pointed to the little girl. She asked, "Do you really not know her?" Maya looked carefully. She shook her head. "No, I have never seen this photo." Mrs. Green was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Many years ago, this girl came here every Saturday. She loved books. She always asked many questions." Maya smiled. "I also love books." Mrs. Green smiled back. "Yes, you are very much like her." Then Mrs. Green opened an old wooden box. Inside the box were many old letters. She gave one letter to Maya. The letter had only one sentence. It said, "The key opens the red door." Maya looked around. "There is no red door here," she said. Mrs. Green nodded. "You are right. The red door is not in this room. It is under the library." Maya was surprised. Under the library? Mrs. Green walked to a large bookshelf. She pulled one old book. The bookshelf moved a little. A small staircase appeared. Maya's eye became wide. "There is a room under the library." Mrs. Green smiled. "Yes, but very few people know about it." Maya held the key tightly. She took one step towards the stairs, then another step. The air was cool. The room was very quiet. At the bottom of the stairs, she saw a small red door. The key in her hand looked exactly the right size. Maya slowly put the key into the lock. The door opened. She looked inside. On a small table, there was a box, and on the box was another note. It said, "Welcome back, Maya." Maya was shocked. She whispered, "Who knows my name?" We will continue this story in the next video. So, thanks for watching.